The next card you have is going to be your immediate future. Okay, so over the next few weeks and throughout the month of December. And you have the Death card. And no, that doesn't mean that you're dying or that somebody around you is dying. The Death is actually a very good card because this is about change and transformation, which is Pisces. This is apparently your month for change because that's exactly what's been coming up. This Hermit is somebody who is very aware, learning things, gaining their spirituality. The Sun is this hope and inspiration. It seems like something you didn't have. You're moving away from this past, which seems like party. I hate to say it, but some of you were pretty big partiers. And again, this is you saying, okay, I'm ready to change. I'm going to hang myself out there in hopes that I can figure some things out. And the Death card is saying, look, you know that change is imminent. You know that it's going to happen. You know that you have to transform. This is a rebirth. This is a rebirth of Pisces. And it couldn't come at a perfect time. It's coming when you have a whole new year to look forward to and look ahead. And so change the way you're going to approach this year. Change the way you're going to approach dating. Change the way you're going to approach people. Change the way you approach love and the way you think about love. Because some of you are either all in, it's either all or nothing. If somebody's going to date you, they have to be willing to text all the time and you know, be 100% in. And because that's how Pisces love. They love fully and completely. And that can scare people off sometimes. Trust me, one of my signs is a Cancer, and it's the exact same thing with Cancers. In fact, sometimes Cancers can be harsher in that, where it's just kind of like, I like you, you like me, so why aren't we together getting married and having babies? No, and it doesn't always have to be that extreme. I'm teasing to a certain extent, but you know what I mean. You really do. And sometimes it can be pressure. It can put pressure on people. But the Death card says, hey, you know, here's your chance to change. And there's all these reasons kind of lining up for you. The universe is lining them up, right? It's the holidays, which is nostalgic, and it makes you want somebody, you know, to love and be with, you know, all the romance of the holidays. But then you have a new year coming up, and there's New Year's resolutions, if that's your thing. It's not really my thing, but if that's your thing, then, you know, it's something to look forward to. But bigger than that, you have an entire year, a brand new year, to make goals and make better choices and make better connections and, you know, find love and maybe focus on all these positives and all these. It's kind of that, like, can't wait to see what happens next. And if you're single, there's a lot in store for you with that Sun card. But you have to make those changes first. And you know it. The dating life has not been easy for you, nor has it necessarily been pleasant. So you got to make these changes at the Death card. If you're looking to reconcile, I think there's two ways to say it. I don't want to cut it short for you, for the people wanting to reconcile, but on this card, I feel like there's two ways to go about this. Either you can have this hope and inspiration, and you can be the bigger person, even if it's not your fault, and you can reach out to them. And if you've reached out to them and it didn't work, and you reach out one more time and it doesn't work, then there's your solution. Your solution is death. You cut it off, you change, you decide that this is going to be the dawn of a new day for you, and this is a complete transformation in your life to find somebody else and not dwell on this person. If you connect with them and things work out, like I said, with the Sun, I think you need to come to the table saying, hey, there's a lot of possibilities here. There's a lot of hope for us. Instead of pointing fingers, we need to work on things and figure out what works for both of us. And then you can have the rebirth of the relationship with the Death card. Death of the old relationship, rebirth of the new. The next card you have is anything tangible, anything external throughout the month of December. It could come in the beginning, middle, end. It could last for a day. It could last for 30. You have the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords, if you're single, is saying that there's a strategy here in place. So like I said, here, you're working at putting something in place. Either you've got your sights set on somebody, you want to reconcile with somebody too, being single, which is very interesting because there might be an intertwine there. But for the most part, the Seven says, look, you're staying alone. You're going to be in this man or woman cave because you prefer the solitude than to this craziness, right? And so you're going to sense, like, throughout the month, and I don't think it's going to be quiet, but I think that you're only going to go on dates when it's something that seems really amicable, when it's something that seems like there's really something here that's going to work out for you, that's going to be beneficial, that that has major potential. Otherwise, I just don't see you really taking the leap on anybody unless they have, really what you're looking for. I mean, we'll look at the outcome of the month because I feel like this is all leading up to something, right? But here, this is saying, look, I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to stab myself in the throat to hang out with people just to hang out with them or just to say I'm dating somebody. It's not worth it to you. You'd rather be alone and be happy than to be with somebody for the wrong reasons. If you're looking to reconcile, this says, look, they may not. You may have to do this transformation because the 7, if you're looking to reconcile or you're broken up, is solitude. But it's also about deception and manipulation. So this is saying, look, don't manipulate the situation. If you're going to approach this person and have a conversation, do it with the pretense of coming out and saying exactly what you need to say and being completely honest. And if they can take it, they can take it. And if they agree and they want to communicate, great. And if they don't, then you may just have to move on because they may also not be completely forthcoming. They may still be hiding something from you, which may be why you guys didn't work out in the first place, because there was some sort of manipulation or deception. And with you, I feel like there's somebody's family too, or friends that don't agree. Somebody's very against this relationship happening, and maybe for 1 or 2 of you, but I see like family members being like, no, and you're kind of like trying to figure out a strategy to make this work. I don't know. Somebody out there, their parents or their siblings or their friends, they don't like this other person you like for some reason. And, you may want to pay attention to that. All right, the next card you have is anything internal throughout the month. You have the Tower, which again could be, the beginning of the month, the end of the month, throughout the month. This is how you're feeling inside. But let me tell you, the Tower card, you have some very strong cards here, some major arcanas, because you have the Tower, you have the Hermit, you have the Hangman, the Sun, Death. I mean, and very strong arcanas too, because the Tower, this is about breaking things down to the nitty gritty. This is about rebuilding an entire foundation. So if you're single, some of you are like, man, you are changing everything. Some of you may have like stopped drinking, stopped doing drugs. Some of you, because I just feel like, and it may not be as extreme as that. It could just be you're, working out, or you're paying more attention. I don't know. I just get this like, before you're just kind of floating along, and now you're actually like, where am I going to be in 30 years? What do I want to do? It's almost like the clock all of a sudden started ticking for you, and you're like, holy crap, do I really want to be partying and doing this for the rest of my life? Do I really want to date, a different person every day of the week? Or do I want something genuine in my life? And the Tower's saying, if you're single, you are breaking it down. You are rebuilding and starting over. It's like a revelation. And something may have happened to some of you to have that come. Maybe you went to the doctor and you found out you were diabetic, or there's something here for some of you, not all of you, that triggered this, kind of threw you into overdrive of, I got to get my finances together. I got to work really hard, but I also want to find love, and I need to make some changes in myself and changes in lifestyle, or changes in how I'm going to go about things. Or it may just be a New Year's resolution. I want to lose weight, or I want to be a better person, or I want to get back in touch with God. Whatever it is, this is pretty major, and this is how you're feeling. Like, some walls have got to come down. And for some of you, dating, some walls have got to come down. Like, it may not even have anything to do. I mean, yeah, I think most of you there's a lot of change here. So most of you are changing, even if it's slightly. But this is also saying, if you're dating, you've been dating like this, or been used to relationships like this, where you don't have to let yourself love too much. Because once upon a time, you were hurt really bad, and you're worried about doing it again. But those walls have to come down. If you are going to get what you want, which is the Sun, you got to tear them down. You got to open that heart back up, because Pisces is a water sign, and they are all about heart. And that's super important. And you know it. Okay, if you're looking to reconcile, I apologize that I'm going to say this now, because you are the only sign this month, one of the only signs. There's been some 50-50, I think, with, I was going to say Gemini, but now I'm thinking, I'm not sure that that's correct. But this right here is saying you are needing a big change. You need this death card. You need this change. You need this breakdown of everything. So either you need to split, get completely out of sync with this person. Some of you, it's almost like an obsession. Either they're obsessed with you or you're obsessed with them. But there's definitely some sort of bond here that's super strong. And it's almost like an addiction to each other. But it's not good. It's not healthy. It's almost like an addiction to like making up, breaking up, making up, breaking up. And it's been really unhealthy. And it's really starting to affect your life. But this also says that you may find out that you were completely betrayed, that this is dissolution. You're going to find something out that there's a complete dissolution of everything. Or you're just going to decide a change is imminent. You need that change and you will no longer be with this person or tolerate this person. And the only way that you might have hope in seeing that happen is if everything changes. And like from the ground up, there's no way of reconciling for some of you unless it's a complete breakdown and rebuild of a relationship. All right, the last two cards you have are your hopes and fears for the outcome in December. So how you're going to feel towards the end. You have the Six of Swords and your actual outcome. And you have the Page of Wands. All right, so if you are single, this is saying that you may be taking, well, first of all, you may be taking some sort of trip. There's some sort of travel here. So maybe part of meeting new people is you may have accepted a job somewhere, you're thinking about taking a job somewhere, or you might be going back home for the holidays and you're gonna like get in touch with old friends and you're gonna, so for some of you, especially if you're single, you're gonna be traveling. Now, this is also a retreat. So this is doing what the Hermit is suggesting for the month. Being in solitude, but only being in solitude, like the 7, only being in solitude until you meet somebody really good. And then if you meet somebody really good, you're willing to come out of that solitude. You're willing to travel to meet them 50-50, and not just in location, but in, you know, putting energy into the relationship. This is basically saying you're not willing to take a step unless you know that it's somebody good. And not in a conceited way. You've just put a lot of energy into people who are not on the same page as you. And some of them are really undeserving and did not treat you well. So you're just kind of like, in order for me to come your direction, being completely genuine and open with me. Again, it could be traveling. Like you're going to be going home for the holidays, or people are going to be coming to meet you. And there might be somebody special in the mix, like somebody you haven't seen in a long time. You're going to bump into them, or somebody you're excited about because maybe you have like a long distance friend and they're coming out to visit and you're really excited about it because maybe you've had feelings for them for a long time. If you're looking to reconcile, this is abandonment. So I unfortunately think that you are one of the signs so far this month. I still have 4 more to do, but I think that you are one of the signs this month that reconciliation does not look good. But what's interesting is I think you're doing it for you. I think you're doing it for you. You can't be in that headspace anymore because this is you completely abandoning you. This is you going, nope, I'm out of here. I'm taken off. And then once you do and you get out of that headspace, you can see clearly. The sun says, look, there's hope for something better. But the reconciliation on this with the death of the relationship and breakdown of the relationship and abandoning, I really think that that's what you need to move on. It's very interesting because I'm very happy about this outcome. No, it's not the star or some magnanimous, but you have the sun in your future. I mean, it couldn't get better than that. But the Page of Wands, I'm excited about this for both singles and anybody looking to reconcile. If you're single, this says that somebody sparks your interest, your curiosity. So maybe this traveler is coming to see you, or maybe you're going to see home and somebody's going to spark your interest. I'm going to pull your theme of the month or not your theme of the month, sorry. I'm going to pull your clarifying cards for the outcome in the distant future while I finish up the last card. So you'll hear that. I apologize. All right, so, but this Page of Wands, if you're single, is somebody's coming in. They're sparking a curiosity. You're going to meet somebody. They're going to be a little different than anybody you've met recently. They're going to spark something in you, and then it's going to engulf in flames. So very interesting. I don't know if you're going to meet them in December, towards the end of December, or if you may just meet them in December and then it becomes something bigger, because your future is this big bright sun, but right here is the spark. So at the end of December, you're meeting someone who's going to spark your interest. Very interesting here. Very interesting. And I just say it and I can't stop smiling because I think it's going to be somebody you're not expecting, or it's going to turn into something you're not expecting. And what's more interesting, well, not more interesting, but just as interesting, because it almost means the exact same thing, is this page. If you're looking to reconcile, I think one of the reasons you're going to make the decision that you're not going to continue with this person. Now, it may either come because you decide to be the bigger person and get in contact with them and they want nothing to do with you, or they're not being nice, or they want to move on. Or you decide to be kind of the leader in cutting it off for both of you, since for some of you it's become an obsession. But there's somebody here waiting because they're going to spark your interest and they're going to give you confidence that you're making the right decision. And I think for some of you, it's a long time coming. And this person may not be the person you're twin flame, but they're going to give you just enough emphasis, just enough positive energy to get out of the relationship. Even if they're not the one, they're going to help build the confidence in you that you can move on and be successful without this person. Okay, the next cards you have are your clarifying your outcome, which you have the Nine of Wands, and clarifying your distant future, which is the Ten of Cups. So it's beautiful, Pisces. The Nine of Wands right here, clarifying, is somebody who's very strong, capable, and has a lot of stamina, which is so ironic because you're coming into the month with this card, which also is all about stamina, hard work, and the 9 is about stamina and hard work. But the 9 is less about the work into it and more starting to enjoy the fruits of our labor, right? So the 9 says that you're going to have the strength. Look, if you're looking to reconcile, this card says you have the strength and the capability to move on. If that's what's in store for you, and there's no rebirth of the relationship, or you decide you've had enough and somebody does spark your interest, this is saying, look, you've got this. You're not going to get burned by those flames. You've got this. If you're single, this says, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. You've got the strength to do this as well. And this is saying, keep going. Don't go back into the old cycle, dating. If you're feeling lonely, if you're like, call a friend, go for a hike, go, see a movie. But this is saying, keep at what you're doing, keep building the momentum, because something amazing is coming. And you can see it right here in the Ten of Cups, because your distant future outcome clarifying card it's saying the distant future is the Ten of Cups, okay? And the Ten of Cups is amazing. If you're single, this is family, this is joy, this is peace. So I firmly believe over the next few weeks, more into like January, February, you're going to meet somebody who that is going to build with as well. This 9 is going to build into a 10, even though they're two different signs, or two different, that you've got fire here and you've got water here, but you're going to be building into something amazing. You're going to go 9, 10, and the sun. It's beautiful. And the 10 of Cups is basically saying, look, we're happy, like we're content, we're feeling warm and fuzzy, and that's a really good place to be. If you're looking to reconcile, this is about peace. So you're going to be at peace with yourself. You're going to feel peace with your ex. Even if you don't get the closure you want, you're going to feel some sort of peace. Once you decide to either go for it and try and get them back, and if it works, fantastic. But for the majority of you that try or decide that that's not for you, the 10 of Cups is what is going to show up in the end, and you're going to start feeling it and knowing that you're going to be okay, that life goes on, and that you'll get through this too. It sucks, right? Because sometimes you get tired of having to be so strong, and it's easier to just say, screw it.